Alhamdulillah, I hope everyone is in good condition. Uh, I'm I'm sorry because there are some students just now coming to uh, get some consultation. So now we are coming to the next discussion, that is correlation. Anyone who remembers about what we mean by correlation? Nobody? Okay, now let's see what we expect to achieve after this discussion. Uh, you will be able to explain the meaning of related items or the relationship between variable and the other variable, and then explain the degree and direction. Remember this, degree and direction of relationship in association of two variables. And then you will also be expected to be able to calculate the correlation coefficient between two variables. And then another competence ability that are expected to be acquired by you is ability to draw scatter plot or of the data to related variables. So now we come to the first one, the terms. In correlational study, we will deal with at least two variables. We cannot do correlation without having at least two variable X and variable Y to be correlated. X is the independent variable. In correlational study, we call it predictor. And the dependent variable is the criterion variable. This is the one. The predictor is the variable that we can use to predict the criterion. For example, the predictor or the independent variable is the size of vocabulary that the students have, and then the reading ability. So we can predict the reading ability of the students when we know their level of vocabulary size. So this is expected to be the independent, the one that we can predict, used to predict, and then Y is the one that will be predicted. Okay, so this is the name of the variable. In experimental study, we call it independent variable, and this one is dependent variable. Correlation coefficient is symbolized by R. So when we calculate the magnitude of the correlation between two variables, and then we have the what we call correlational coefficient or R. And then when we square the R, and then we have the coefficient determinant. We can justify how much the contribution of the predictor to the criterion. So that is what we call coefficient determinant. We will do some exercises on that. So now we come to the definition or the meaning of correlation. So correlation shows relationship between two variables. You should select variables which rationally correlate one another. So according to our common sense, we believe that the two variables has some kind of correlation. If you are correlating between the height and the fluency in English, so how tall the students are and then how well they speak English, it doesn't seem to have any correlation. So according to our common sense, it doesn't have any correlation. So you do not choose those kind of variable to correlate. Correlation coefficient, that is the R, shows the strength of their relationship. We should call it the magnitude of the correlation. So how strong the correlation between the two variables will be symbolized by the coefficient, the correlation coefficient. And then to predict and to estimate changes in the dependent variable given the correlation coefficient. So once we know the R, the correlation coefficient, actually we can use that, the independent variable, to predict the dependent variable. The stronger the correlation coefficient, the more accurate the estimation will be. So the estimate will be accurate when the correlation coefficient is high or is strong. Okay. Now let's see when we draw a scattergram, or we call it scatter plot. When we plot all the data into the graph, then we have this scatter graph. And then look at the line. The vertical line is called the Y, the dependent variable. And then the horizontal line is the independent variable X. Or we call it predictor, while Y, the dependent variable, the criterion variable, is the vertical line. So when you plot your data, you have to remember this, that the dependent variable should be in the vertical line and the independent variable should be in the horizontal line. So here is an example of data plotting into the graph. So the independent variable is reading, and then the dependent variable is spelling. So Y, the Y is spelling, the horizontal line, and then reading is the independent variable X, the X-axis. When we plot the data and the data looks like this, then we believe that the direction, okay, the direction of the correlation is positive. Okay, it means that when someone is high in one variable, he will also be high in other variable. So they are going the same direction. They are going at the same direction. High in one variable, high also at the other variable. Or when low in one variable, then they will also be low in the other variable. So the direction is the same. We call it positive correlation. For example, if we we correlate between the height and the weight, how tall they are, and then how heavy they are. The height is the independent variable. We believe that the taller someone, the heavier they will be. Okay, that is the assumption. So the correlation will be positively in direction. Okay. And then next one is reversal direction. When high in one variable, they will low in other variable. So when they high in the independent variable, they are low in dependent variable. We call it negative relationship, negative correlation. The line goes in different direction. So once again, for example, the higher the anxiety, anxiety is the independent variable, and then the lower the fluency in speaking. So anxiety and speaking fluency negatively correlated, meaning that when high in one variable, they will low in other variable. So they go in different direction, in the opposite direction. And then the last one is no variable. So like this, when the plot looks like this it means that when someone low in independent variable, they may be low or high in dependent variables. So it looks like there is no correlation at all. This is a sample of GPA, grade point average, GPK, and the what is some kind of test in the one area of their field of study. When we are talking about the height, how tall they are, and then the fluency in English, the plot may look like this. Someone who is tall may be low in their speaking, may also be high in their speaking. So there is no correlation between the height and the fluency in speaking. So the direction looks like this. Next, correlation coefficient. We will use two types of formula or correlation depending on the data. When the data is interval or ratio, so remember the scale of measurement. When the data are interval or ratio, then we use the Pearson product moment correlation. When the data is ordinal ranking, for example, we use Spearman. So we will do exercise on this. Only two. Depending on the type of scale of the data, then we choose the appropriate correlational statistic tool. Once again, when the data are interval or ratio, use Pearson product moment correlation. When the data are ordinal, use Spearman RHO, rho. Next, the degree of relationship. When you calculate the correlation coefficient, the result of the calculation will be between plus minus 1 to plus minus 1. So from minus 1, so when you minus 1 to plus 1, or from plus 1 to minus 1. If the result is more than 1, 1.5, 1.7, that means that the calculation is incorrect. Okay, so the result, the coefficient will be less than 1. You will never find exactly 1. Okay, that is what we call the perfect correlation. This is the interpretation of the coefficient correlation. When the correlation coefficient that you have calculated is between 0.35 and or minus 35 or below, that means the magnitude of the correlation is weak or low correlation. So the correlation is weak. We call it the magnitude of the correlation, the strength. When the number that you the result of your calculation, as we call it correlation coefficient, is between 0.36 to 0.65, either negative or positive. We call it moderately correlated, the medium strength of the correlation. When it is more than 0.56, 0.65, that means that the correlation is strong. So this classification may be different from other textbook that you read. This is from a Gay's book. When you try to interpret the result of your correlational study, you may refer to the book and then you say how strong the correlation is based on this interval, based on this category. Okay, next, how we calculate the correlation coefficient, the R. When the data are interval or ratio, then you use the Pearson product moment. And here is the formula. There are two types of formula. The first one is the definitional formula. You can use the definitional formula, or you can use the computational formula. We will practice to use the computational formula. We use the raw data, raw score, to use the computational formula. Okay, when you use the definitional formula, you have several steps before you can put it into the formula. So we will use the computational formula. Here is an example. Take a look at this example. Is there any correlation between the advertisement expenses and the volume of sales? Yeah, we may assume that the higher the expenditure in advertisement, the greater the volume of sales will be. So it is our assumption. So here are the data. So the expenditure on advertisement in million rupiah. We use only the what is the first digit of the expenditure. 3 million, 7 million, 2 million, and so forth. This is for several months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. So in 10 months, the company record the expenditure on advertisement, and then at the month also, the company record the volumes of sales. So here is the volume of sales of car, for example, or motorcycle. The first month, when the advertisement is 3 million, and then the volume of sale is 11. The second month, the volume of sales is 1, while the expenditure is 7 million, and so forth. Now the question is there the correlation between expenditure in advertisement and volume of sales significantly correlated? Now we are going to calculate the correlation coefficient by using Pearson plot moment. Here is the formula. N, number of sample, that's 10, and then sum of x, y. So x and y, this is the independent variable, the predictor, and this is the dependent variable. Multiply the x and y, and then we have this. And then here is the sum of x and y. So we'll use this, the sum of x and y. Here is sum of x, and sum of y is 103. And then here is sum of x squared. So you square all x's here, and then you sum it up, and then you have this. And here is sum of y. You square all the y, and then you sum it up. So we have this. Here is the sum of x squared. So sum of x squared. So now we can put the score into the formula. We can use the formula to find out the R, the correlation coefficient. So here is the formula, and then we have N, number of sample, 10 months. So 10 times sum of XY. So X times Y, and then we add it up all together to find 506. So here is 506. And then sum of X times sum of Y, 55 times 103. Divide by square root n times sum of x squared minus sum of x squared. The sum of x, 55 square. Sum of x squared is 385. And sum of y squared. Sum of y squared and sum of y squared. Sum of y squared. We have the result here. 10 times 506. So 560. And then 55 times 103. Divided by square root 10 times 385 minus 55 square. And then we have this times square root 10 times 1401 and minus 103 square. And we have this minus 605 divided by square root 8 to 5 times square root 340 is the R is minus 0.36. So when you look at the category, the magnitude of this belongs to moderate, okay, and it's negative. The correlation is negative. Or does it mean the direction is in opposite. When the one variable is high, then the other variable will be low. So it looks like the higher the expenditure, the lower the volume of sales. That is the result. Point or 36. Okay. So once again, the interpretation of this is moderately correlate negatively. So the correlation is negative. Okay, so far, is there any question about how we calculate the correlation coefficient R between two variables? Next, we calculate the coefficient determinant, the R square. Okay, the R square. So when we square this, the result minus 0.35, we have 0.13. So the interpretation of this coefficient determinant is that about 13% of the sales is the function of advertisement advances. So the contribution of the expenditure in advertisement is about 13%. Okay, so it's very low. Yeah, it's called just now medium strength of correlation between advertisement expenses and the volume of sales. The interpretation of the R square coefficient determinant is that 13% of the sales volume is a function of advertisement. So that is the interpretation of correlation coefficient and the coefficient determinant. Is there any questions? So in terms of the terminology, predictor, criterion, correlation coefficient, and coefficient determinant, and then type of statistical tool, Pearson product moment when the data are interval or ratio, and when the data are ordinal, then we use the Spearman row. Okay. Here is the data of 6 employees, and they have been trained, they have been attending training, and then the attendance of training is ordered, so it's kind of ranking 6, 1, 5, 2, 4, and 3. And then their volume of sales also ranked. The highest volume will be rank number 1, number 2, number 3, and so forth. We have here 2 rank on 2.5 because they have the same volume of sales. For example, the first one has 30 cars sold, and then the other one also has 30. So the rank for the 30 has 2 positions. That is why we sum up the rank and then we divide it by 2. So ranking 1 langsung to ranking 0. Direct to ranking 4. So actually 1, 2, 3. But 2 and 3 have the same volume of sales. So we add up the rank. Rank 2 and 3 divided by 2 becomes rank 2.5 and rank 2.5, both of them. So actually rank 1, there is no 3 because 2 and 3 has been added up and then divided. Ranking 5 and ranking 6. Now, how we calculate the correlation between the training attendance rank and the sales rank? The formula is this. RS as a Spearman is 1 minus 6 times sum of D square divided by N times N square minus 1. So 6 is given. This is what we call it constant. Okay. So, and 1 is given. D is different from the training and the sales. And the difference is squared. So for the first step, Eli, for example, the difference from training and sales rank is 6 minus 2.5 is 3.5. And then we square this equals to 12.25. Okay. And then Leah, rank 1 and 1, the difference is 0. Tia, 5 and 4, the difference is 1. And we square this, we have 1. Ati, the difference from training and sales is 2 minus 2.5 minus 0.05. So we square that, we have the 0.25. And the result are add up. We have the sum of t square, 23.5. 23.5. Now we can put this into the formula. 1 minus 6 times sum of t square divided by n times n square minus 1. So we have 1 minus 6. And then we have this sum of the square, 23.5, divided by n, 6. Okay. And n square, 6 times 6, 36 minus 1. So what we have is the result is 0.33, positive 0.33. So it is easy to calculate. Once again, we just find out the difference from the independent variable and independent variable and square that, and the result will be put into the formula here. So 0.33 belongs to weak correlation, less than 0.36. So it belongs to weak category. Okay, any comments so far before we move on to exercise? No? Okay. Now we can, you can take a look at this. What kind of correlation we can use when the scale is different. Okay. So here is the scale, our data, nominal or categorical. We can use the chi-square if they are nominal. If they are ordinal, we just now use the Spearman rule, okay? Because the data are ordinal. So we have ordinal data here, yeah? Ordinal training, ordinal scale, and then we use the Spearman. When the data are interval or ratio, then just now we use the Pearson product moment, okay? Okay, I think that is the explanation about correlation. We do only 2 types, that is the Spearman and Pearson. We don't use the others, the other type of statistical tool. Okay. Any comments? If no, then this is an exercise. Suppose that we have done study. We would like to sorry. We would like to find out the correlation between grammar and reading. So this is our example, okay? Please take out a piece of paper and then calculate the correlation coefficient between grammar and reading, okay? This is the independent variable, and this is the dependent variable. The data are ordinal. The data are interval, sorry. So we use the Pearson product moment. Okay, now you have the opportunity to calculate the Pearson product moment coefficient using the data. So there are 10 students. And then here is the score on grammar, and here are the score on reading. Now, is the correlation significant between grammar and reading? Since the data are interval, you have to use the Pearson product moment. So what you have to do first is make a worksheet. We have to find out the square of x and square of y, and then the multiplication of x and y, x times y. So there are 3 columns that you have to fill out. The x square and y square and x times y. And then after doing that, when you have the worksheet done, then you can put all the score into the formula, Pearson product moment formula. Okay, you have 10 to 15 minutes to do that. Okay, you can write down the data, and then I'll show you the formula. Here is the formula that you have to use. Okay, and here is the worksheet. So you have to find out the x square, y square, and xy, x times y. Okay, you can write down the formula, or you can screenshot or photo this, and then I'll go back to the data. Here is the data. Here is the problem.